Tirtha Paribrajaka Chacha Stotra Satta Simad, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Syama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. Yamuna Devi Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavat Purana, Canto 1, Creation, Chapter 2, Divinity and Divine Service. Today's verse number 3. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we have no screen today, is it? Okay. Ya Svanubhavam Akila Shruti Saram Ekam Adhyatma Deepam Atitirshatam Tamo Andham Sangsarinam Karunayaha Purana Guhyam Tam Vyasa Sunum Upayami Gurum Muninam Yatswanubhavam Akila Srutisaramekam Adhyatma Deepam Atitir Shirtama Tamuandam Sangsarinam Karunayaha Purana Guyam Tang Vyasa Sunum Upayami Gurum Muninam. So how should we do this? Go ahead. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. We'll do the word for word. Ye, he who, sva anubhavam, self-assimilated, experienced, akila, all around, sruti, the Vedas, saram, cream, Ekam, the only one, Adhyatma, transcendental, Deepam, torchlight, Atitit Tirshatam, desiring to overcome, Tama Andham, deeply dark material existence, Samsarinam, of the materialistic men, Karunaya, out of causeless mercy, Aha, said, Purana, supplement to the Vedas, Guyam, very confidential, Tam, unto him, Vyasasunum, the son of Vyasadeva, Upayami, let me offer my obeisances, Gurum, the spiritual master, Muninam, of the great sages. Please repeat, let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him, Shuka, the spiritual master of all sages, the son of Vyasadeva, who out of his great compassion for those gross materialists who struggle to cross over the darkest regions of material existence, spoke this most confidential supplement to the cream of Vedic knowledge after having personally assimilated it by experience. Purport by the founder Acharya A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In this prayer, Srila Sutta Goswami practically summarizes the complete introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural supplementary commentary on the Vedanta Sutras. The Vedanta Sutras, or Brahma Sutras, were compiled by Vyasadeva with a view to presenting just the cream of Vedic knowledge. Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on this cream. Srila Shukadeva Goswami was a thoroughly realized master of the Vedanta Sutra, and consequently, he also personally realized the commentary, Srimad Bhagavatam. And just to show his boundless mercy upon bewildered materialistic men who want to cross completely over nescience, he recited for the first time this confidential knowledge. There is no point in arguing that a materialistic man can be happy. No materialistic creature, be he the great Brahma or an insignificant ant, can be happy. Everyone tries to make a permanent plan for happiness, but everyone is baffled by the laws of material nature. Therefore, the materialistic world is called the darkest region of God's creation. Yet, the unhappy materialists cannot get out of it simply by desiring to get out. Unfortunately, they are so foolish. Excuse me, I made a mistake. I had to go back. I made a mistake. Yet, the unhappy materialists can get out of it simply by desiring to get out. Unfortunately, they are so foolish that they do not want to escape Therefore they are compared to the camel who relishes thorny twigs because he likes the taste of the twigs mixed with blood. He does not realize that it is his own blood and that his tongue is being cut by the thorns. Similarly to the materialist, his own blood is as sweet as honey, although he is always harassed by his own material creations. He does not wish to escape. Such materialists are called karmis. Out of hundreds and thousands of karmis, only a few may feel tired of material engagement and desire to get out of the labyrinth. Such intelligent persons are called jnanis. The Vedanta Sutra is directed to such jnanis. But Srila Vyasadeva, being the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, could foresee the misuse of the Vedanta Sutra by unscrupulous men, and therefore he personally supplemented the Vedanta Sutra with the Bhagavad Purana. It is clearly said that this Bhagavatam is the original commentary on the Brahma Sutras. Srila Vyasadeva also instructed the Bhagavatam to his own son, Srila Shukadeva Goswami, who was already at the liberated stage of transcendence. Srila Shukadeva realized it personally and then explained it. By the mercy of Srila Shukadeva, the Bhagavad Vedanta Sutra is available for all those sincere souls who want to get out of material existence. Srimad Bhagavatam is the one unrivaled commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Sripad Shankaracharya intentionally did not touch it because he knew that the natural commentary would be difficult for him to surpass. He wrote his Shariraka Bhashya, and his so-called followers deprecated the Bhagavatam as some quote-unquote new presentation. One should not be misled by such propaganda directed against the Bhagavatam by the Mayavad school. From this introductory shloka, the beginning student should know that Srimad Bhagavatam is the only transcendental literature meant for those who are paramahamsas and completely freed from the material disease called malice. The Mayavadis are envious of the personality of Godhead, despite Sripad Shankaracharya's admission that Narayan, the personality of Godhead, is above the material creation. The envious Mayavadi cannot have access to the Bhagavatam, but those who are really anxious to get out of this material existence may take shelter of this Bhagavatam because it is uttered by the liberated Srila Shukadeva Goswami. It is the transcendental torchlight by which one can see perfectly the transcendental absolute truth realized as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. I was requested by some devotees in San Diego on Sunday to reintroduce my bell. They said that they were missing it. And since it's GBC approved, I am complying. Trinadapi sunichena toradiva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Hare nama eva kevalam kalo nastyeva gatiranyata. There is much to talk about in this verse. But first, realization how splendid, wonderful, and amazing Prabhupada's purport is. So we have in this verse the word sva anubhavam, self-assimilated or experienced. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 2, we see that there's this line, pratyakshagamam dharmyam, that what we are learning here in this Krishna consciousness movement is something which we can personally assimilate, personally experience. It's not pie in the sky. John Lennon wrote a very blasphemous song against Hare Krishna. And he said, oh, it's pie in the sky, meaning it's nice, but it's not real. But that's not what we learn in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna consciousness is the real. Here in this material existence, we learn from Bhagavad Gita and in Bhagavatam, it is a dream only. Material existence is a dream. So, this material world is pie in the sky. The reality is Srimad Bhagavatam. The reality is Krishna, his devotees, his service. And we are meant to realize it because it is scientific. Krishna consciousness is scientific. And any scientific thing, they have some thing that there's, hypothesis. Then they have some way to demonstrate it. If you follow the procedure, you're supposed to get a predictable result, H2O. If you know the process, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen, then you should be able to have water. But you must know the process. So this Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, this process of Krishna consciousness is science. If you follow the instructions, especially if you follow the instructions as given by Srila Prabhupada, you will get the desired result. And there's one place in the Bhagavad Gita. If one is not getting the result, that means there's something wrong with the person's application or execution. But if it is properly executed, and of course, the mood is very important. Always remaining meek and humble, always being tolerant, giving all respects to others, not expecting people to glorify me. Then with that mood, and then we have the 6 items which guarantee success by Rupa Goswami. Utsahan, enthusiasm, the first one. Being enthusiastic, patient, and following the previous acharyas, especially your spiritual master. Then you're guaranteed of success. Reading this purport, I am reminded of one of my favorite sections in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. When Lord Chaitanya was invited by the Maharashtrian Brahmin, this Maharashtrian Brahmin invited Lord Chaitanya. He was in Benares. He said, I have invited all the Mayavadi sannyasis headed by Prakashananda to my house. I want you to come. And the thing was, even though Lord Chaitanya superficially took sannyas in the Mayavad Sampradaya, he was just the opposite. He was not only devotee, but he was the epitome of a devotee. Why? He's God himself experiencing the mood and role of the topmost devotee, Srimati Radharani. Can anyone excel Srimati Radharani in service? Nobody can. But Krishna came to experience, what is this? How is this? Why is this Radharani? And therefore we have Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya would never associate with the Mayavadis. He was accused by Prakashananda Saraswati. But to that Brahmin, oh, I've heard of this Chaitanya. He is a sentimentalist. And he likes to associate with the low-class people. He blasphemed. So this Brahmin invited Lord Chaitanya. He was, as is mentioned, he was inspired from within by Krishna in the heart. When Lord Chaitanya arrived, as customary in those days, there was a place for washing the feet because you were walking barefoot, sannyasi, and it was very dirty. So before entering some house or a temple, there was facility to wash the feet. But what did he do? Right after washing his feet, he sat down in the same place. This is avaduta. This is strange behavior. But then he showed an effulgence brighter than thousands and thousands and thousands of suns. Just yesterday we had that solar eclipse. And everybody was warned, don't look directly. You could get retina damage. So that's just an eclipse. And we cannot even look directly into the sun anyway. Here he was exhibiting an effulgence thousands of times brighter than the sun. And all the Mayavadi sannyasis stood up in wonder and amazement. Because that is described. The Mayavadis, just like we have our slogan, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. They have their slogan that they greet each other. Oh, Narayan. You are Narayan. They have their slogan. But now they realize, oh, we may say Narayan, Narayan. Here's somebody who's actually realized Narayan. And Prakashananda extended his hand. Your Holiness, why are you sitting in this filthy place? Why don't you join with us? So that was a Gyata Sukriti, unknowing devotional service. So they wanted to know why he never associated with them. So Lord Chaitanya began to explain his Harinam Diksha. How upon approaching his spiritual master said, don't read Vedanta Sutra. That was revolutionary. Because back then, in those days, especially in the Shankara Sampradaya, sannyasi only did two things, or three things. Eating, poka poka. You have to eat very little. No Sunday feast. No Vyas Puja feast. No. You have to eat very, very sparingly. Then how do you spend your time? Meditation and meditating on the aphorisms of the Vedanta Sutra. That's what you do. Day in, day out, year in. I could never be a Mayavadi. No way. What kind of life is that? eat this much? Forget it. I joined this movement to eat. So, Lord Chaitanya's spiritual master told him, no, you don't read Vedanta Sutra. You're a fool. Just see, the spiritual master is calling the disciple a fool. Lord Chaitanya is no fool. He's Sarvagya. He's all-knowing. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's actually the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. But his spiritual master said, you don't read this Vedanta Sutra. You just chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Now notice, Lord Chaitanya is teaching by example. Spiritual master is directly to his face. You're a fool. He didn't say, who are you talking about? I'm Lord Chaitanya. No. He accepted what his spiritual master said. Yes. So he went back and strictly followed the instruction of his spiritual master. He simply chanted the Maha Mantra. But quickly, things started to happen. Tears would come from his eyes while chanting. His hairs would stand on end. He would get choked up. He would shiver, perspire. 8 kinds of transcendental symptoms were manifesting when he was chanting Hare Krishna. And like a proper disciple, he went back to his spiritual master. Prabhupada makes a comment. Whenever there's a doubt about spiritual life, one must refer to the spiritual master. So Lord Chaitanya went to Ishwarapuri Gurudev. You have taught me not to read Vedanta Sutra. I did what you said. I simply chant this Maha Mantra, but all these things are happening. What am I doing wrong? His spiritual master said, no, you have achieved perfection in chanting. And at one place, Prabhupada, when he's telling this story, he says that Ishwarapuri said, I am a nonsense. But because you have followed my instructions, you have achieved perfection. Now you may think, oh, I have achieved perfection. My business is done. Goodbye, everybody. No, Ishwarapuri gave him 3 instructions after achieving perfection. He said, first of all, continue to chant. Not that I've achieved perfection, okay, I'll take a vacation. No, you must continue chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the association of devotees. And number 3, preach. Preach the value of this chanting, which Lord Chaitanya did. That is why we also are preaching. Just as Lord Chaitanya was, that instruction has come down through Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada wants us to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Minimum 16 rounds. Prabhupada wants us to stay in the association of devotees, and Srila Prabhupada wants us to preach the message of Krishna consciousness. So what Lord Chaitanya did, we are also following in those footsteps, parampara. Lord Chaitanya mentioned to Prakashananda that his spiritual master taught him very valuable verse, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyata. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. Chant, chant, chant. So, after this, Prakashananda and the disciples, by this time, they were very favorable to Lord Chaitanya. And they said, can you please tell us the faults with Shankaracharya's philosophy? And can you give us the real meaning of the Vedanta Sutra? And Lord Chaitanya said, yes. Even though my spiritual master did not tell me to read Vedanta Sutra, I can explain Vedanta Sutra to you easily. And they said, yes, we want to hear your explanation. And Lord Chaitanya blew their minds. Because he said, all the Vedas are teaching only three things: Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. What is your eternal relationship with Krishna? Everyone is the eternal servant of Krishna. Everyone has a service already. It's already there. Never was there a time when you did not have that service. Okay, first of all, you have your service. Now, so you have to be convinced. First, Sambandha means to be convinced that you're the eternal servant of Krishna. Because coming to this material world, we have given up that concept that I'm the eternal servant of Krishna. We have come to this material world only to imitate Krishna, to try to be Krishna, to feel what it's like to be Krishna, that he's the enjoyer, that he's the proprietor, that he is the everybody's best friend. Everyone should like me because I'm so wonderful. Everyone has come to this material world to experience what it is to be the supreme enjoyer. Trying. So Sambandha is that information which convinces you you're not the enjoyer. That you're nothing more, nothing less than the insignificant servant of Krishna. There's a story here in LA, Prabhupada's quarters. He's speaking to some of his big men at the time, and he tells the story. So here in this universe, there are so many planets, and there's one planet, tiny Earth. And on Earth, there are continents. There's one continent, North America. And on that North America, you have different countries. There's one country, United States. And in the United States, there are 50, and there's one state, California. And in California, there are so many cities. There's one city, Los Angeles. And in Los Angeles, there are many neighborhoods, many streets. There's one street, Watsika Avenue. And on Watsika Avenue, there are many houses. And here there is somebody thinking, I'm very important. In the scheme of things, we're so insignificant. Sambandha, understanding that I am the insignificant servant of Krishna. Now, once I'm convinced, Abhideya, how do I act? Whenever there is a philosophy, a consciousness, there has to be some action. So what is my action now? How do I demonstrate that I'm the eternal servant of Krishna? That's important. I've given the example many times. A boy will say to a girl, I love you, but the girl is thinking, show me. Talk is cheap. Buy me this, take me here, jump up and down like a monkey for me. So, there has to be activity to demonstrate, yes, I'm the eternal servant. But then comes the last item prayojana, the fruit. What is the result of accepting that I'm the eternal servant of Krishna? What is the result of acting in that awareness? What is the fruit? Love of God. Prema pumarto mahan. Love of God. In the 60s, everybody was singing love, love. All you need is love. But Prabhupada on that wonderful bhajan, Gora Pahal, I listened to that purport many times. Prabhupada says, so there are so many signboards, love, love. It is all lust. Lust for intoxication, love for this. No, it's not love. Real love, Radha Krishna. That is real love. Prabhupada also mentions in that nice pamphlet, Reservoir of Pleasure, we distributed by the millions, such a nice pamphlet. Where to repose our love? That is the question. We have loved so many thises and that's. We have loved so much. No. Krishna is the real lovable object. That will satisfy your loving propensity. You may have a nice wife, a nice husband, but that can only go so far. The real loving experience is with Krishna. And this whole process of Krishna consciousness is to develop your dormant love. You already have it. It's already there. It's not something external or extraneous. It is already there in everyone. Simply, it has to be evoked, awakened. That is the process of Krishna consciousness, to develop love of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Might we have some discussion? Going once? Yes, Prabhu. First of all, tell me your name. Luis, okay. Okay, knee science. No, but I'm just saying, it's nescience, but I'm breaking it apart. Knee science, unscience, or shall we say, fake news. Nescience means ignorance, illusion. What we are following in Krishna consciousness, as I said, it's science. This is the real truth, the absolute truth. Nescience means illusion, ignorance, darkness, suffering. Bueno? Okay.
Muy bueno, gracias.
Anything else? Thank you very much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.